There, everyone. Welcome back to the show. It's World of Warcraft Wednesday, WoW Wednesday, the program where I touch on all things, good and bad, about this video game addiction of mine. Today, I want to bring some positive vibes into the program. I want to radiate some positivity. So, I'm going to dive into a challenge of sorts me and the missus tossed around the other day. The challenge of actually finding 10 things I enjoy about the War Within. Let's get into it. Now, before we get started, let me set the record straight. I have not enjoyed this in flight. This felt like basically what you had before, which is exactly what made me unsub prior to Dragonflight. Not going to deep dive into all that right here. Just wanted to make sure my stance on this expansion was clear, as it is relevant to how challenging this list was to generate. So here we go. Number 10, some hero talents. Hero talents were by and large a swing and a miss for me, composed almost entirely of already existing talents previously part of our main talent trees, what I've seen of them, and I have over 60 alts, have been overwhelmingly underwhelming. They just kind of they took some stuff that was already there, repackaged it, added in two or three new things, and said, hey. It's like, that being said, I would not be honest if I said they were all disappointing and uninteresting. I laugh every time I see a squad of Drakthir conduct a bombing run when I'm playing on my Evoker. That just tickles me to no end. Love that. And I was really excited they teased the idea of shaman tanks with the first iteration of the totemic build. I was disappointed when they took those changes out, but not surprised. You want to tank on a shaman, you go play on a private server, bro. Or Season of Discovery, I think, but I haven't dabbled too much into that. I don't know if that's really a thing or not. I also enjoyed warlocks summoning some big scary demons through portals. That was fun. A minor gripe is that when they show up, they completely obscure my screen, so there's that. But it's still pretty cool. And also all that lightning from the Mountain Thane tree in Warriors. Oh, I love me some lightning. I was annoyed when they took a very dwarf-centric theme and applied it to everyone everywhere, but well, whatever. I just like the lightning. Who plays this game for immersion anyway, am I right? Moving on. Number 9, Warband account wide rep and storage, transferable gear, currencies. Part of the quality of life changes brought to us with the War Within. I wouldn't necessarily say this is a War Within specific feature. I would say it was a feature that was already in development and just happened to pop out during this expansion. Semantics aside, this was a fairly big and welcome change, at least for me and what I do in the game. Although we already had account-wide gear once before with bind on account that could be mailed to various alts, this was a more formal introduction of the system. I'm not sure why they abandoned it previously, but hey, we have it back again now, so. Also, being able to transfer some currencies is such a huge positive change, and I will sing those praises. How many times have I had to create spreadsheets to track which character had what currency and how much, and what did I need to do to get them enough to buy this one thing, and are there requirements, and just on and on. Just blah. This was a huge positive change, and I loved it. And the reps now being account wide, the recent ones, that was very welcome. And I hope they can eventually get all of the reps added retroactively, but we'll see, we'll see. Number 8, transmogs. As with every expansion, there are always looks and clothes that I find uses for, and the War Within was no different. As a matter of fact, all those little worker outfits they introduced in Dornegal have been an absolute gold mine for my various, salt of the earth characters. I know it's strange, right? Hillbilly finds common people transmogs appealing. It's crazy. But anyway, there are two characters of mine in particular, RPing as engineer grease monkeys, that have basically found their entire outfits cobbled together with pieces of these sets. So the transmog offerings this expansion have had several welcome looks for me at least. Number 7, expanded skywriting mounts. Another quality of life change that isn't necessarily tied to this expansion, but since it came out during the War Within gets the credit. But oh, I do love being able to soar on a wide variety of mounts. That is absolutely an awesome change. Bravo on that one, Blizz. And also, I I was amused by some of them, like when you have the disc or a couple others, and I was like, "Oh, what's the animation going to be like this?" And it's like this charge forward kind of. It tickled me. I found it amusing. So there was that. Anyway, number six, turbulent time waste. Some of it. As I stated in another video, I enjoy the past more than the present, clearly. And the Turbulent Time Waste event has always been a welcome one for me, and I tend to spam dungeons while it's going, depending on which one is live. Like Classic, TBC, Wrath, Mists, those tend to get me out and about for the event, while the others tend to make me find something else to do. I love the B mount that we got back in the day. I didn't care about the scale wing, but I love and adore the Infinite Time Reaver pirate. Adding pirate clothes onto him, just instant smiles and chuckles. Bravo on that one too, Blizz. Whoever thought of that, give them a raise. Number five, expanded Drakthir classes. More the quality of life deluge that the War Within gets to take credit for. It's still wonderful to be able to play warriors and mages and warlocks and everything as a drag, almost everything. I can't wait for druids. I'm just putting that out there. Drac is in my top three favorite races in games, so reasons to make more Dracs is always a welcome one. Also, being able to sit in our Visage form is welcome as well. This feature saved a character of mine from being repurposed. He was initially a Void Elf RPing as a High Elf because that's the best we can do. But of course, every time he went into combat, he looked like a wad of purple bubble gum, and that was just killing me to the point I was thinking of race swapping him yet again because you go into combat and you're just like, oh, what is this nonsense? And I do a lot of combat in the game. I don't sit around in Dornogal just standing around waiting for something to happen. But along came expanded Drac options, and I realized I could sit in Visage form. Suddenly, the character reemerged from the lip of oblivion, so at least one dude was saved because of this change. Nice, nice. Number four, Comp Stomp. This felt like it should have been introduced during Dragonflight, as it was a change that felt like an apology. You see, I am a hardcore PvPer from back in the day. No, not arena or dueling outside a city. I reveled in the chaos and the bloodshed of large scale combat. Alterac Valley was my second home for many years. So many, in fact, that I earned the Bloodthirsty title on multiple characters just sitting in AV all day reveling in the slaughter. It was awesome, and I miss it. Then came the rise of the bots and the pre-mades, and it got bad, and it got worse, until finally, sometime before Dragonflight, I can't recall exactly, it became absolutely unplayable. Every single match was pre-made versus 2 to 3 real people and a bunch of bots grinding honor for their owner's account. And guess what? I wasn't on the pre-made side. So you'd spend the entire match in the graveyard getting farmed, earning next to no honor and certainly no conquest, and generally just devolving into psychotic levels of frustration and anger. So, heartbreakingly, I had to give it up. I had to break that toxic relationship. I had to be like, okay, look, I'm a real human being. This isn't for me. I get it. So, a part of the game I loved was dead to me. Then, The War Within introduced me to Comp Stomp. Comp Stomp is an Arathi Basin match where you're pitted against a team consisting entirely of bots, Blizzard bots, official ones. And they're not entirely stupid either. They're underpowered and not generally playing at top tier gameplay, but they're not irrelevant either. I got smoked once or twice when I tried to Superman their entire team and was surprised. They focused me into a pile of ash. I applauded. Still, matches invariably are horrendously lopsided, and there are the vocal minority out there that proclaim this is the most boring thing ever. I can't argue that. What I will say, though, is that to me, this feels like an apology. It feels like Blizz saying, hey, we realize random BGs are now borked forever, and we have no intention of ever addressing it, so here, have this event where you get to be on the pre-made side for a change. Thanks, Blizz. Thanks. Number three, WoW Shorts. If you haven't checked out the WoW Shorts they've been putting out for this expansion, you are missing out. Go check them right now. They are hilarious. My favorite so far is Goblumbo. Just Chef's kiss. Whoever was behind these arrays right now. This is seriously art. I love them. Not the, the boring gameplay features ones and all that. No, no, I'm talking about the ones they put out there for sheer entertainment value, have their little mini narratives and such. So I wanted to make that clear. But they are just, oh, I was stunned when the wife and I queued one up and realized like, whoa, this is actually entertaining. This is, this is fun. What is this? So, but anyway, moving on. Number two, the Undermine aesthetic and music. When the missus and I first visited Undermine, I thought I had accidentally ported into some other game. The music is so good, I actually want a copy of it just to listen to. And the entire aesthetic of it all, too. Bliss has done several purely Goblin zones, but for some reason, this one really, really captures the look and feel of Goblin for me. I absolutely adore it. Undermine should be the Goblin starting zone, the Goblin capital, all of it. Now, I loathe the drive mechanic and I don't care for the events and the quests there, but as far as the buildings and the aesthetic and the art and the NPCs doing their NPC things and all that, top tier, chef's kiss. Couple that with the music, and oh my gosh, you're talking one of my favorite zones in the game. It's that good. Before we get on to our number one, we have an honorable mention. The Priory or the Sacred Flame in Hollowfall. I'm not going to pretend my eyes didn't go wide the first time I saw this huge Gothic cathedral just jutting proudly off this promontory of rock out over the sea. I was deeply impressed with that location thing, whatever, right there. I just wish it had been in some other zone. Like, why not make the expansion about the restoration of the Arathi Highlands and this was their new church or something? But why does it have to be down in this ridiculous cave with its very odd protrusion? But I'm not here to go into why I strongly dislike Hollowfall as a whole. I'm here to say this church, the Priory of Sacred Flame, the building, by itself was really impressive and awesome looking. Really dug that. Nice job, Bliss. But now, let's get to the number one. I just love it. I absolutely love it. I love what they did with the professions in Dragonflight, and I will sing those praises all day long. But then with my favorite profession, they took it a step further. You get the junk, you use the junk to make the stuff, and it gives you the recipes and the bits and the pieces. You use to discover the recipes, and you still got all your talent points and changes and everything. And yeah, I know I've said it 10 times in this, but I love it. I love everything about it. It was amazing. I sing those praises all day. What you did with engineering? Yes, absolutely. But so there you have it, folks. Challenge completed. 10 things I enjoy in The War Within. I hope this little jaunt has entertained y'all. It was a journey for me to make, but that's all I got for right about now. Now, I am planning on going to go see the Fantastic Four First Steps here in a couple days, so be on the lookout here on the channel for my review of that. Beyond that, there will be the usual Super Saturday and Solo Play Sunday offering, so make sure you tune in for those days for a new show. But that's all for now. Thank you for stopping in, listening for a spell. I do appreciate y'all. It's shaping up to be a beautiful day out there. Might make a point to get out and enjoy some sunshine, drink a little water, get some exercise, maybe read a comic, put in a good movie, watch a cartoon, play a fun game. Enjoy yourselves, and as always, have a good one.